All right, that's the kind of throw I really wanted to see. A little windy today. I have the new Q-Line FD from Discmania. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you probably saw me throwing the single disc only round Q-Line DD3. Now, this disc has warped after a couple tree hits, right? Kind of makes me a little concerned because that flight plate was so incredibly thin that sure, it was awesome and pretty overstable in the beginning, but by the end of one round, this guy turned into a flippy disc. So they now have the Q-Line FD, and it took a while actually to get this one in. I got all the rest of the discs from Gannon's World Championship, and they have these third place Nicholas Antila Q-Line FDs. And the whole idea with this is it's supposed to be a thinner flight plate and more density around the rim, right? Get that gyroscopic effect. So we're gonna see if that's true today. So what I wanna understand is, does this fly further than the other FDs that I have from Discmania? Not Innova made, but Discmania made FDs. I got 3 of them to test against, and a bunch of other molds from other companies that are in that same flight range to see, does this fly further than everything else? I gotta be honest though, the feel of this disc in hand, it's really good. It's really, really good. So here's what I'm testing today. Obviously the Q-Line FD, C-Line, it's flat FD. I have a Special Edition Swirl S-Line FD. Another C-Line is a little bit domier, feels more close to the profile of that Q-Line. I'm at Melita, because this thing goes forever. I actually want to see if I can throw a mid-range farther than that Q-Line FD. I don't think so, but I got Eagles, I got a River, I got the Athena prototype, a Leopard, T-Bird, and I got a Crave. So these are the ones I'm going to throw against. See how this thing really does. Give you an idea real quick of what our wind situation is looking like. Okay, pretty much a tailwind going this way. I'm going to be throwing that direction. We're going to see how these line up. We're going to get started. I'm going to throw my normal FDs first, and then we're going to throw the Q-Line FD. I think I'm going to be aiming at the big tree. See that big tree in the middle? That's my aiming point, and if I miss left or right, you're going to know. A little bit of turn. It's a great FD. All right, this guy, C-Line FD from Discmania, it's a little bit stiffer, a little bit flatter. So it might have more movement left and right. Pretty similar, not as much dome on it, so it was getting down to the ground quickly. But actually pretty similar flight to the Special Edition FD. One more before we throw the Q-Line. This is my C-Line FD, a little bit domier. Probably won't have as much turn. I threw it on maybe a little Hyzer, but it's definitely more stable. Okay, question is now, will this fly further than those 3 FDs? Try to just throw this as flat as I can. I mean, that's like my 80% power throw. I'm not trying to do anything more or less on all those throws. So let's go see where that ended up, get some ranges, and then we'll come back. I think we compare it to some of these other 7 speeds. So where I'm throwing from back here. So my C-Line FDs ended up going 370. And we got 380 and 376 for the Q-Line FD. So now that I know kind of how all of those FDs fly compared to each other, let's have some fun. I'm gonna go in the same order. The Special Edition FD that I got from Replay yesterday in the used bins feels the closest to the Q-Line. So yeah, this one pretty much went the same distance. I think I can get over 400 with an FD.
Nope.
Oh God, I might have to change directions I'm aiming. Yeah, I got to the fence. That one went a lot further right than I expected it to. That's a little bit better. That's a really good FD. Felt like it held the torque pretty well. Now we're going to go with a little bit slightly domier C-Line FD. Those 2 discs, this one and the one I'm holding, very different FDs. Well, that one's following the first trajectory. That's what happens whenever you throw hard. All right, Q-Line FD, let's see how far you can go. See if you can beat my C-Line FD. A little bit of pop. While we're at it, we may as well throw the rest of these and see if I can throw any of these further than the Q-Line FD. Well, I went and grabbed all the discs. My C-Line FD ended up going 420. The special edition went 430. And, you know, Rivers up here, Melita, a couple Eagles, have my Athena over here. Eagle was actually sitting right next to the Q-Line FD, and these were 410. And this guy went about 425. This is my flatter, just C-Line Discmania made FD. I don't know, I don't really see much different compared to these 4 FDs right now. Just being honest, feel-wise, it feels great. It's really similar to this special edition FD, but it's so like gummy in the middle of this disc. It definitely is a thinner flight plate than these, which are just a lot stiffer. Especially this guy, really flat. And like, you can't really control all the variables. I'm not a robot when it comes to throwing discs, but I'm gonna throw a couple more and see if I can see much of a difference between Q-Line, C-Line, and the S-Line. We're gonna do another set of throws here. Just want one more. I mean, you can see the wind. Probably not the best day to be throwing an FD, but you can't control the weather, which is part of our sport. Wind is not fun to play in, but you gotta learn how to do it. I normally would not be going to these types of discs, probably be throwing Firebirds, Destroyers, PD2s. So with this, when you have a left to right crosswind and you're throwing a backhand as a righty, this is like your ultimate distance wind. You would think like having a tailwind would help, but it really just kind of drops the disc at the end of the flight and stables it up. So if you really want to get max distance and see how far these discs go, I think it's better to throw a little bit of a Hyzer flip, have it ride the wind, maybe finish at the end. So if I was going to try to do distance competition, it probably would be this direction. I'm going to throw all of them again and just see what I learn. And also, just throwing this hard, it's gonna tire my arm out. So I'm gonna give it my best effort for the Q-Line FD, okay? Discmania, I'm trying for you guys. All right, that's the kind of throw I really wanted to see. Yeah, I mean, that's a good benchmark. I wanted a little Hyzer flip, have the wind carry it, finish pretty straight. See if I can get any of these FDs to fly further than that one. Too low. It's a good turn out of it. Did not throw that one super hard. You just tell. There's no way that's farther. All right, this is the one that I have the most promise, most hope in. It feels like that one has a little bit more turn. It's a pretty good effort too. I'm gonna throw the rest of these in case you want to see these flights. Otherwise, skip forward. We're gonna go Crave first. Probably a little too nose up. Let's go Athena from Discraft. That one just has like a drift right. I don't think that's further than the FDs. Hey, we're sticking on Discraft. Melita, I'm gonna laugh so hard if I can throw this farthest. I mean, that's a pretty good effort too. Oh my gosh. The Melita's such a good flyer. Okay, I got some Eagles from Innova. Currently bagged this disc. Going around the outside of the pole. A Leopard from Innova. Oh, the wind just straight dropped it. I wonder how far that went. Let's go River. 10-year anniversary River. This thing feels pretty cool. Oh, it might be a little more understable than I gave it credit for. Talk about riding the wind. Champion Metal Flake Eagle, Calvin's edition. I think the arm's getting a little tired. Last but not least, T-Bird. Actually, if you see this stamp, Did that with Innova a couple years ago, coming out with another double stamp. So stay tuned for that one. If you guys like Innova. I'm done. All right, the arm is gonna get destroyed. 380 on that C-Line FD, threw it a little low. 391 with the Crave. 315 was my Metal Flake Champion Eagle. We had 413 was my Champion Eagle. Melita ended up going 433 feet. C-Line FD, a little bit domier, 422. Well, hello there. Wait for this Apache to fly by. That's kind of cool. I don't know what it had on there, but that's where the C-Line FD was. This is my Athena from Discraft. That one went about, what did I say? So that was 427. We're getting up there. And here's our Q-Line FD. I put it on the exact line that I wanted to. So the question is how far did this go? 457 feet. They can go far. The question is, was that the furthest one? What, are we getting invaded right now? This is the third one I've seen fly by. All right, here's your clear winner. 474 feet. Q-Line FDs over there. It's just, this one went so much further. Okay, now it's time to talk thoughts. I did not want to record any thoughts until I watched the disc fly in the air. I gotta say, the Q-Line, it flew really straight. It did not have a ton of the turn that I found with this S-Line Special Edition blend, the Swirly S blend. This one had so much more turn, and it still had a lot of finish at the end versus the Q-Line, you know, same pretty much throw, popped up flat, and then had a little bit of finish. So it stayed more of like within that channel, right? The, you know, far left and far right that this guy had was pretty dramatic, but it also flew so much further because I got more of a full flight out of this one. But great feeling disc. It does feel awesome. Again, we'll see how like it holds up with a thinner flight plate from like the integrity. But I mean, it's really good. I'll probably keep it in the bag and throw this around with probably this guy to look at some more of those comparisons. I think I prefer the feel of these two over the C-Line because, I don't know, it kind of makes it feel like a flatter disc in my hand because it's a little bit gummier on top, which is actually kind of cool. And it still gets a lot of that dome, right? So it has much more glide than you expect. Pushes straight really far. So they have something here. But I guess the question I really wanted to answer was like, will it fly further than the other FDs? The answer is no. It's not, but it's gonna fly straighter. And I think that's actually an incredibly useful tool. And the reason why I was trying to throw so hard was I wanted to see if there was a big gap, right? And they gave all of them pretty decent throws and efforts, and that's what I learned. So do you agree with me or do you disagree? Because I'd love to hear your comments. And if you've thrown these, let me know what you think.